Hello everybody. I've just spent the last 20 minutes recording on my computer what I wanted to say and it just didn't record. So I'm going to repeat myself for the third time, but I'm doing it on my camera rather than the computer. And I thought I'd just tell you a bit about where I went yesterday, which was the Glass Museum, the new home of glass, the Stourbridge Glass Museum. And it's a lovely new building. Well, I say new building, it's been there about 2 years. And it says a brand new museum at the heart of Stourbridge's Glass Quarter. World-class displays showing the best of 10,000 strong glass collection. And we went round and had a look at the glass. Very, very nice displays indeed. And I'm going to show you those. I didn't talk throughout the museum because it's very difficult when you've got other people there and you've got children. And there weren't many children, but one girl did fall over and bang her head. So then she was crying, which is a shame. And it says it's got a working hot glass studio. And in the brochure, I spoke to this guy, but he wasn't actually blowing any glass at the time. So I think they do it on certain days. And it was nice to see, because we've got a glass blowing place up the road, Genuine Craft Centre, not far from me. So we went around that, and I'm going to show you the glass. And it really needs a visit, really, if you're in the area, because it's very good. And it's £7.50 to go in as an adult. When I came out, we went over the road to a council-run section which got various buildings and a huge project which is actually just about to finish in time for next week's International Festival of Glass. And there's a huge cone being repointed and arched windows put into it. And that was used as part of the glass process. And the Stourbridge Canal and Glass Quarter. There's a heritage trail you can go on as well. Part of Dudley. It says if you want to find out more information, you go on glassquarter.org.uk or discoverdudley.org.uk. Now we went over and saw this red cone and went into there was a little pottery area where children were making things. There was a cafe which wasn't open yesterday, but I believe it probably will be by next week because of the International Festival of Glass. And we spoke to two guys who were working in the actual glass blowing section, and they said they've got lots of orders, some from Dubai. And one of the guys who was brought up in the area of Stourbridge said he comes over to Ginny Ring and works a couple of days sometimes, and that was nice to know that, because it's such a skill, isn't it? But going back to the actual glass museum over the road, the one we paid at, the £7.50 adult ticket one, I met the most wonderful woman. I've got to, give her a shout out, called Terry Louise College. She gave me a leaflet. She's a cameo engraver and glass decorator. You would not believe the sort of things she works on. And it says that she works exclusively to commission. All pieces are individually signed and dated and come with a certificate of authenticity. And that's her leaflet. And we saw her working on a project that started in January. And what it is, they sort of have this like navy blue pot, and there's a sort of a white overlay, and then she etches and engraves into the actual vase with such accuracy. It's unbelievable. I mean, I said to her, you don't learn this from college, do you? And she said no. She said she was an artist and sort of went into it via work when she was working. So what a great skill to have. It's fascinating to watch, and these projects go on for quite a long time because they take such a long time to do. So the New Horizons is the exhibition at the Stourbridge Glass Museum, which was the new one which we first went into, 13th of July to the 17th of November 2024. I saw that piece. And when we went over to the council run one, they had this little Black Country Living Museum newspaper, and it made me smile because it says, "How am you there, kid?" We got some Boston news from the Black Country Living Museum. So that's the way people speak around the Black Country. And I was brought up in a school where we all said Boston when we meant that something was good. It's funny how things die off, isn't it, in terms of words. And people used to say, "I'm catching the buzz." And I say, "Why are they saying buzz instead of bus?" And I was brought up, so I don't know why I did say buzz. Anyway, the way it is. So I hope you enjoy the little tour around. As I say, I don't talk my way through it. It's a glass display for all to see. So I hope you enjoy it.
Little cameo earrings, they're white on the top, so I'm taking the white glass away, exposing the colour underneath, and I'm hoping that they will eventually look like that.
Oh wow, fantastic.
So these are tiny little pieces that I'm doing. I'm usually working on a big piece.
Okay, so that's nothing to do with that vase. Oh, okay.
That's a little breakaway.
Brilliant, thank you so much. So you've engraved this vase in the style of a Naples vase.
In the style of the Naples vase or the blue vase, and this is my version of this piece. It's got all the design features on it.
Wow, that is incredibly intricate. That is fabulous.
So I've been engraving this since January.
Wow.
That's just engraving. A lot of work before that as well, and I'm hoping to be finished for autumn.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. How lovely. Glassmakers were known for the use of bad language and their blackened and half-clothed appearance. They worked long hours in hot, dirty and dangerous conditions. Many tasks were hazardous, such as the mixing of red lead powder used for making crystal glass. This was known to cause vomiting, diarrhoea and damage to the nervous system. The use of hydrofluoric acid, used for acid etching, was another hazard. It caused severe burns if it came into contact with the skin, and the fumes, when inhaled, could cause lung damage. Apprenticeships lasted for 7 years and came with strict conditions. They couldn't marry, gamble or visit taverns or brothels. Many also suffered ill treatment from the gaffers, who resented the apprentice system, which was viewed as a threat to their status. Gaffers were frequently known to make excuses to justify taking money from their apprentices, often to pay for their drink. Glassmakers worked 6 hours on and 6 hours off throughout the day and night. If their replacement failed to relieve them of their duties at the end of their shift, they were required to work through another shift. I hope you're liking the designs, folks. What beautiful colours there are. Such an array, and the intricacies of the engravers on some of the clear glass. Quite fascinating. And we're going to go and visit some real glass blowers over the road in a moment, but appreciate what you can see, because it's quite a nice display in this part of the building. And as I say, we're going to go over to the council building, which is run by the local Dudley Council, where there are actually glass blowers working today. Early 20th century cameo glass. The defining link between the 19th and 20th century in terms of cameo production was George Woodall, who was regarded as the most talented cameo carver of the period. From the 1900s onwards, Woodall's work had progressed to a more photojournalistic style. His Armenian Girl demonstrated his support for William Gladstone's campaign against the genocide of the Armenian people under the Ottoman Empire during the First World War. Following Woodall's death in 1925, Thomas Webb and Sons explored new themes and experimented with modern techniques such as marquetry sur verre, a technique which involved pressing shapes of cut glass into the surface of the object during the heating process. The company also introduced the distinct and modern cameo fleur range in 1931.
these as part of Elliot's sort of reverend range. So they, upon sort of completion, this sort of little bit gets drilled through, and they have a metal. Show you them up. Hey, have you got any of the truth?
No, he's making them at the minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it has this sort of like blacksmith screw. It sort of pops it up and it's pinned to the wall.
Oh right, for display purposes.
Yeah,
oh right,
so.
okay. Fab. Lovely, thank you.
Maurice.
I think it's Holland, yeah.
Dutch artist Maurice Ruby. That's how you pronounce his name.
Oh right.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Black, sort of concentrated colour. It's a bit too much for what we need for just the cup that we'll make to start off with. So it's going to go about heating that over and cutting it into the sort of correct sizes. So just shaping the colour, or heating and shaping the colour. And then chop a few bits off. A bit too much there for what we need to make.
So we're going to attach an iron to the end, break it here, and then open the cup out. So that's the first stage.
Brilliant.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up all our friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna trunks full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long.